In 1904, the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, or the St. Louis World's Fair, was underway with more than 60 countries displaying exhibition spaces at the fair, which was attended by nearly 19 million people. There were over 1,500 buildings, 75 miles or 121 kilometers of roads and walkways, and it was said to be impossible to give even a hurried glance at everything in less than a week.
I've heard of this.
With so many different shows, stands, and exhibitions, surely it would be hard for anything to stand out too much. But this was not the case for a little concoction made up by Charles C. Alderton in the 1880s in Waco, Texas. Originally called Waco, the name didn't stick for long, and at the World's Fair, it was the national launch and blowout first impression of the world's most misunderstood soft drink, Dr. Pepper.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, it is. We're doing my favorite soft drink, and it ties in with the 1904 marathon, which got brought up at work the other day.
Yeah, nice.
Louisiana Purchase Expedition. Yeah, that was going on at the same time, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. If you would like to know what we're talking about, go back and listen to our 1904 Olympics episode, which is quite possibly the best episode.
The best episode of Cheeky Tales.
How long do you reckon this episode is going to go for?
About 30, 40 minutes. What?
I have a couple of soft drink stories that if I knew this was going to be the topic, I could have tagged on the end of.
That's okay.
Keep them for another episode.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
I'm in different clothes. You're in different clothes.
This is a different day. What are you talking about?
It's rugby league season. That's what I always wear on rugby
This is
league
like
season.
6 months after
It's
rugby
true.
league season. It's finals in 2 weeks' time.
Sean wears that shirt constantly.
I have worn it many times on this
It
podcast.
stinks already.
It's because the Cowboys have made the top 8 in finals the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We don't know when we're releasing this.
We don't know when we're releasing this. We're back. No, can't use that. That's Auntie Donna's bit. Don't want to rip that off.
Oh, man, I'm so bummed NRL season's finished. Can't wait for the summer cricket to start.
Oh, yeah. Man, 2024 was hard.
Man, how were those Brisbane Olympics?
2024? Man, I just got through 2025. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
man. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Jeez, this is a tough year.
Man, I can't believe that asteroid missed us by that much.
Don't Armageddon this podcast. Bruce Willis can't save us. Oh, we're here for Dr. Pepper.
Docky Peppy.
My favorite soft drink.
Sean loves Dr. Pepper.
I love
Oh,
Dr. Pepper.
It's hard to explain how much he loves Dr. Pepper.
I love it so much. I brought it with me.
so are we talking about the soft drink or are we talking about the Louisiana Purchase?
We're
or-
talking about the soft drink. The Louisiana
Okay.
Purchase Expedition is critical to the history of Dr. Pepper.
All right, I've got my pun ready. This is a quick fire one. Inoculate me with the story boy.
Is this because
John?
it's a doctor?
Yes.
Here we
And
have,
Jeez.
I have 2 cans for you.
And doctors give shots.
Aaron?
And another word for shots is inoculate. So
Oh,
Come
did you
on.
get cans for all of us?
Yep. And I
How-
have 2. Yeah, we don't have to drink all of them. It's
how,
fine.
how good was that pun though? Come on.
It was pretty damn good.
I was really proud of that one. And it was quick.
When you get a chance, could you please pour some of each into your 2 glasses? We have 2 different types of Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
So you got Dr. Pepper authentic blend of 23 flavors.
Yep. American Dr. Pepper.
And you've got Dr. Pepper, so misunderstood, but in like the writing that SpongeBob uses since 1885.
British Dr. Pepper.
So is there Australian Dr. Pepper?
No, not anymore.
Do you want to?
These are the 2 domestic market
I'll crack
Dr.
some
Pepper.
cans.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink too whole cans.
You don't have to drink 2 cold cans. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Dr. Pepper.
You've never had it? Mate, you're in for a treat. And you get to try the 2 different types, which is really
And
important.
you know what would have been really funny? If I wore my new singlet, which is a Coca-Cola singlet.
Yeah, it would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious.
They feature heavily. Remember which cup you pour it into. It's not a matter of old. Oh, I suppose it's old style. Well, it's different. It's not that it's old style.
Boy, have you got my sippy cup?
Yeah, actually, this would have been a good time to bring the sippy cup back. So because it doesn't have any super intriguing story tie-in, the reason we have two different kinds of Dr. Pepper is because of America's insistence on high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So we've got some-
Mozzies.
I've brought some Dr. Pepper to drink. So
Yeah,
we
nice.
have two kinds.
Cool.
So
Where's
we have
the cherry Dr. Pepper. Oh my
I
god.
didn't bring cherry Dr. Pepper.
Oh my god, Jeremy is going to froth himself over this. You know, Jeremy from
Yeah.
cricket. He loves Dr. Pepper. I think he's always.
This is the Jezza episode.
And the Dr. Pepper memes about the world has not tasted the pure cherry flavor yet, and they don't understand. It's pretty funny, but I didn't want to bring Dr. Pepper cherry because I find it a little bit misunderstood. I want it to be more Dr. Pepper. Anyway,
Let's get to it. I want to drink these cold.
what we have is British Dr. Pepper, which is made with real sugar, and American Dr. Pepper, which is made with high fructose corn syrup.
fructose corn syrup.
Even though in America they also have sugary Dr. Pepper, but they call it something else, which I'll talk about later. And if you can find it and you know where to go in Brisbane, Barra Boys takeaway store in Wollongabba, you can get...
Shout out to the Barra Boys.
Yeah, sponsor us. You can get Dr. Pepper in a glass bottle, which is full sugar, non-corn syrup Dr. Pepper.
None of this watered down woke crap.
And it's pretty good. It's a nice way to drink it.
Give me Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. So yeah, Dr. P. It's my favorite soft drink.
All right.
Shall we get into the fizzy beginning?
Can we taste it?
Yes, we can taste it, please.
All right. Which one do you want us to taste first?
I think you should taste corn syrup first. So
So
American
that would be the Yank one.
The 23.
Yank one.
All right, so Yank was on the right.
Yank was on the right.
Oh,
John has never had Dr. Pepper.
I've never had Dr. Pepper, and that is a smell that reminds me of like old kind of lollies.
Aerating it is not the best way to drink it.
No, just enjoy it.
It's certainly a flavor.
It is.
It's like old school lollies.
Yeah.
Like the ones your granddad used to have that weren't the greatest.
But they had a flavor that was like, it's sweet and it tastes like something.
Is
Yeah.
that just the corn syrup? The
No,
high
it's a
fructose corn
specific
syrup?
We'll
flavor.
find out in a second.
Yeah, it's a specific flavor.
It is nice.
It's
The
pleasant.
I have drunk it before. I'm acting like I haven't, but I
but
know
now
what
you're
Dr. Pepper
focusing on
tastes
it.
like.
Misunderstood.
Not a fan.
Mm.
I'm going to drink it, but not a fan.
Just going to quickly palate cleanse.
Palate cleanse, yes.
I do wonder how a shot of scotch would go with it.
Pretty good. Dr. Pepper is a really great mixer. Smack some bourbon in it, and it's a good time. Oh, that was gross.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that was impressive. Good.
All right, so I've now thoroughly cleansed my palate. I hope that you all enjoyed those lovely sounds.
It was.
And no more than 2 minutes ago, Sean,
Mhm.
someone was saying, "Oh, I've had more experience on a microphone than you guys. I'm a professional." And then he goes and does that.
Which was entirely on purpose.
It's still
On
not great to
purpose
do
or
in
not.
a microphone.
On purpose or not, uncouth it is.
All right, I'm now tasting.
Oh, we're going to the other one.
Yep, switch.
Oh, hang on.
What do you think I did a palate cleanse for?
Gotta switch to British Dr. P.
What else would I palate cleanse for?
Mama bird me the palate.
Oh, yeah, come here.
I'm going in no palate cleanse.
Okay, so I'm going to taste it. I'm sure this is what our listeners love. That is noticeably different, but not massively. You can just
But noticeably.
Same flavor, just
doesn't have that
from
American flavor.
It's not 11, it's 7.
Yeah. It's not so syrupy. It's sweet and enjoyable, but it's less
Yeah, and
it's less syrupy.
It still has that lolly flavor though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that American like.
Kick you in the teeth.
Yeah,
It's got more citrus. Like it almost tastes like it's more citrusy, which is it
back to the US.
back to the US one.
What am I on,
That's actually
Concord?
what I'm doing.
Yeah, I prefer the British one, so I'm going to finish with that one later. But
It's just more it's more bold as well because it doesn't have the
what are we sommeliers right now?
It's more bold.
It's got more of a
I prefer British
textured flavor.
I prefer full sugar.
Taste testing, and I'm in a big.
Maybe maybe for a deep cut episode or another one, I might bring in the weird Dr. Pepper flavors.
Oh,
Yes, let's
just
do
get 'em
that.
all.
We'll do that as a special.
My bag was only so big
Let's do it.
to carry
So-
6 cans. It was already been up.
We have talked about the Pringle
Oh, the
taste
Pringle
test.
taste test. Yeah.
Here we go.
What's the Pringle taste?
Oh, the girls have come up with like Try Guys style, where we're going to taste and rank all of the Pringles flavors.
I mean, sour
Red-
cream and chives is number one.
Yeah, I know.
Why do we
yeah,
not-
I know. We all think that. The girls don't. They
Okay.
think it's going to be a contest.
But you know what? It's not about who comes first all the time.
Pringles.
Sometimes it's about who's number 5.
it's
who makes
about
Pringles?
who makes Pringles.
Pringles make Pringles.
I know Pringles, but surely there's a
I think Lay's owns Pringles.
Yeah.
Lay's.
You can still buy Lay's from Costco.
Hit us up.
Mm.
Did you spike my drink? Why am I? It's late. Anyway. All right.
There was a secret Dr. Pepper concoction that I was going to bring along. I couldn't do it because it's also getting late. But apparently, if you take a bottle of Corona, drink out around
God,
about a
here we
mouthful,
go.
and
Oh,
put amaretto in it, it tastes like Dr. Pepper.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
I
add
tried
that
the
to the
balsamic
flavouring.
vinegar Coke trick. It's
Yeah.
not real.
I
It
heard one
tastes
the
like
other
shit.
week adding Fireball to creaming soda.
Yes.
Tastes like a jam cinnamon donut.
Fireball is that one that every time I have it,
It does not.
No, it tastes really good though.
It tastes good, but it does
It
not.
doesn't taste like a jam donut.
every time I have Fireball, I do that thing where I'm like, oh, this is going to be awful. Like it's going to be hot.
Yeah, and then it's good.
It's always good.
Yeah, it's good.
Every time I have it, I'm like, delicious.
All right. Shall I? Can I get into the fizzy beginning?
Can I get a hell yeah?
That too.
I'm not.
Charles Cortese Alderton
Hey, Coaties.
was born in 1857 in Brooklyn, New York City.
I'm
The eldest-
walking here.
I'm
All right,
New York.
we just talked about
We talked
this.
about this.
Because they're Italian American.
The eldest of 5 children, he attended school in England before returning to the United States to attend college at the University of Texas, where he studied medicine.
UT.
After college, he got a well-paying job at a corner drugstore as a pharmacist.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Now I know why it tastes like medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But
But in medicine,
pharmacists and cola have like a big.
yeah, because
Yeah.
these pharmacists were corner store pharmacists, soda
Mm.
fountains, because they wanted to capture as much business as
Yeah.
possible. And they did all this sort of stuff. The store was known as Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore, named after the owner, whose name was Morrison, whose first name is omitted from my script because I think I just forgot it and didn't put it in.
Tom.
Let's call him Tom Morrison.
I like that Sean, who is the person responsible for research, does the same quality research that we do.
And he doesn't have him.
Yeah, he doesn't have
I
him
don't
to
have
look it up.
I don't have myself fact checking, and I do shorthand
and
to
neither of
avoid
us even
this.
thought to do it.
No. Stop
That's
that.
okay. That's okay. Like so many others at the time, this corner drugstore had a soda fountain,
Mhm.
and it was operated by soda fountain operators. But everybody that worked there was like,
So when you say soda fountain, like a
it's the name of the sort of the bar itself. It wasn't a specific individual fountain.
yeah, okay.
It was, pump bottles where they
Yeah.
would pump the flavors in, mix it and stir it with carbonated water, and then serve it on ice to
Alright.
members, like a bar.
Yeah, okay.
And they would
So-
do ice cream sundaes and things like that.
The original Soda Stream.
The original Soda Stream.
Also,
Also,
sponsor us.
sponsor us.
Do
Yeah.
you own one?
Nope.
I do. It's great.
Must be
No,
nice.
you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, didn't yours
My
blow
one
up the other
broke
day? From overuse?
from overuse, not well outside the warranty.
period.
What is happening? Why are we saying the same things? Soda Stream. Lays. Come
Love
on.
it.
I'm pretty sure it broke because Sean did something dumb.
Yeah,
not
probably.
because it's an inferior product.
Why? Because you put milk in it?
Yeah, well, it was red wine.
Red wine
Are you serious?
soda.
Yeah, it was dope.
Was it worth breaking the Soda Stream?
Nah. it was my old soda. It was my old soda stream though that I had fixed, and I'd bought a new one, and I went, well, it still works. What can I carbonate? And it was red wine, and it was awesome. But it made
Sean could work in the R&D
like-
department.
How hard?
a mess. It just went
He
everywhere.
really didn't try that hard to get that out of him.
No.
He dumped himself
I
in.
haven't been known to hold back. So this corner drugstore, it had a soda fountain, and Charles C. Alderton, working there at the time, would partake in a little sweet treat and make himself a drink because he worked there. So he'd just make it however he wanted. He took note that the customers were getting really tired of the. Are you changing your shirt?
No.
The customers had gotten tired with the original flavors, like the standard ones, lemon, cola. Well, there was a cola flavor, but this predates Coca-Cola, by the way, by a couple of years.
Yeah.
But they were bored with all the normal flavors. And he noticed himself that he was just as bored. And he really liked the smell of when you mixed all the flavors together. Like a
so
5-year-old.
he was a 5-year-old.
Yeah, a 5-year-old at Hungry Jack's. Just like,
Have you ever done that?
potion.
I've made a potion. It's raspberry and it's orange and Sprite and a
it's
bit of
so
Coke. It's
good.
delicious.
So you've done that before?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who hasn't done that?
I used to do it at home.
Oh, here we go.
But the kicker was, it was
Mum,
Coke,
I opened every single bottle.
it was Coke, lemonade,
Yeah.
creaming soda,
Yep.
and strawberry milk.
No, that sounds great.
Sean,
It was.
I'm going to get around it.
I'm not quite sure this
it was.
qualifies as what it is, but I think that what John just described is a war crime.
it's, a,
That could be its name.
it's a crime against the Australian Consumer Council
was-
of how to consume beverages.
It
but
was, as a 12-year-old kid, I
it'd be
really liked
delicious.
it.
It would be phenomenal.
All equal parts. There was no ratio. It was just equal parts.
So it's 1/4 milk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Anyway, so Charles Alderton.
Hang on. Hold up.
I guess that's just a spider.
Thank you.
But like, ice cream's not milk. But anyway, go on, Sean.
Anyway, so Charles C. Alderton liked how all of the flavors, much like John, except without strawberry milk, he liked how they-
Decarbonated wine.
he did carbonated wine. He liked how they all tasted when you mixed them all together. So he started working on his own soft drink flavor that had the same sort of effect as the aroma of all of the flavors mixed together. After a while, he actually settled on his mix of 23. Oh, that's the soft drink side effect. He settled on a mix
23
of
flavors.
23 different ingredients combined with phosphoric acid, which gave it the, quote, tang.
Yeah, there's a tang.
Yeah, it's a gross word, but it's correct. Gave it the tang, and that's from the phosphoric acid. And this was first sold in the store to the public on the 1st of December, 1885, 1 year before them bastards at Coca-Cola came along and ruined everything.
I really wish I had my Coca-Cola shirt on.
Yeah, that's right. Pro Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy.
No.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not, though.
Yes, I am. I pick Pepsi over Coke whenever I can.
I've never once seen him do this.
You at my house the other night had even pre-made Pepsi with vanilla syrup in it to make it even better.
Oh, I guess I did have
Yes,
that.
you did. Mm-hmm.
I tried the Pepsi and creaming soda the other day. That is weird. It's
Mhm.
not like combined flavors. It is you taste creaming soda, there's a distinct line, and then you're tasting Pepsi, and they do not cross.
Yeah, right.
Pepsi is king. Yeah, I'm a Pepsi guy. Not
You wanna-
Pepsi Max though. Pepsi
do-
Max sucks.
So you mentioned tang.
Did mention Tang, not the soft drink Tang.
Do we want to do a keep it or delete it? And I feel like this is going to be a delete it.
All right.
All right, I love
All
a keep
right.
it or delete it.
I love
Thanks,
a keep
Hamish
it or
Andy,
delete
for
it.
the stolen segment. I mean, borrowed.
I saw an Instagram video the other day.
Okay.
Listeners,
So we're
you
back.
haven't had to hear that.
You didn't have to hear that, but
We
just
might
so you
never
know,
do another episode of the podcast
was
after
gross.
what John just said.
This was How I Met Your Mother. This is the point where Lily walks out and we don't see her for another 8 episodes.
We may have to take a 2-year hiatus just
Yeah.
to get that out of our heads.
We'll
Wasn't
see
my
you.
idea.
We'll see you in 2026. Have a good night. Thank you, Chiquitos.
Oh, we didn't even say that last episode.
I said good
I
night.
mean, 2 years ago when
2 years ago when we made this.
Man, how were those Brisbane Olympics?
Anyway, so it's the 1st of December. It's a year before Coke came out, and
Yep.
it's now available to the public.
It is so good.
I know, but it wasn't called Dr. Pepper back then. The only way you could order it is if you, it's so awful, is if you walked up to the soda fountain and asked the attendant to shoot you a Waco.
Hey, bruh.
Shoot me a Waco.
Oh, jeez.
It's just gross. I don't like it. But that was what it
Is
was.
it gross because of what Waco is now?
No, it's gross because like asking someone to shoot you something, like shoot you some, it's gross.
Okay.
To me, it's gross. Anyway, that was
pessimist.
That was how you ordered it.
It just clicked to me that Sean's a pessimist.
I'm a lot of things.
I'm a pessimist.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Sean makes you look like an optimist.
Anyway,
I've got a shirt over there that he just poo-pooed on for no apparent reason. Because it got pink.
once Charles Alderton gave the concoction to the owner of the drugstore, Mr. Morrison, he also loved it and thought it was fantastic and decided to keep it on the menu all the time. He then gave it the name Dr. Pepper. Why did he give it the name Dr. Pepper?
Because they're in a pharmacist and it cures you of your...
Nah, not even close.
Whatever. I don't care.
Is it something to do with pepping up?
No.
Okay.
The origin of the name is a little bit vague, and there's like a bunch of different conflicting things. But the most consistent one is that it was at least named after a person, but who that person was is a matter of historical debate because Americans love this sort of stuff and they go way back into it, and to the point where I'm going to bring up a census. Some say it was named after Morrison's old boss, Charles T. Pepper, who apparently gave him his first job, which is incorrect, most likely. Later research has debunked this, as Charles T. Pepper lived and worked over 40 miles away from where Morrison lived and worked, which is quite a long way in 1885, and there's no evidence that he ever worked for him at all. Others say that Charles T. Pepper had a daughter that Morrison was in love with, and he named the drink after Charles T. Pepper so that he would approve of their love. However, the girl was 8 years old when Morrison moved to Waco in his 40s.
We have covered some pretty dodgy stuff from this time period. That's possible.
There is a more logical answer, but it's less fanciful.
Okay.
The most logical answer involves a census. Dr. William Alexander Reed Pepper lived in Christiansburg, Virginia at the same time as Mr. Morrison. And when they did a census, Dr. Pepper is recorded on the very next page from Mr. Morrison. Now, back then, the census was not conducted alphabetically or anything. It was just in order of where they went and saw people, like walking down the street, indicating that he lived very, very close by to Mr. Morrison. Pepper is also recorded as having a 16-year-old daughter named Mary Ann. So, potentially, a mix of two stories, that he was trying to impress someone with a daughter that he was interested in, also the fact that he potentially worked with him. But there was a man named Dr. William Alexander Reed Pepper that lived very, very close proximity to Mr. Morrison in Christiansburg, Virginia.
I just wouldn't name a product after somebody that wasn't me.
No. I mean, it's an interesting name, though.
I'm not going to...
Okay, you've just created a drink. What are you calling it then?
Well, I'm not naming it after Bree's dad.
Call it Pain-Aid.
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 That's not
No one's drinking
that's
a
not too
cold
bad.
Pain-Aid.
It can be a sport drink, and it's a play on words because it fixes your pains.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Pain-Aid like ADE, like Powerade, Gatorade, Staminade.
All right.
Pain-Aid like AID.
By the time
Pain-Aid.
this episode comes out, I might have developed a drink.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Up next, before
Savage
that,
soda.
funnily enough,
That's good.
if you notice on the can of Dr. Pepper, what is missing next to the word doctor?
The dot.
Yeah, the dot. So,
I noticed that with my keen sense of grammar.
there used to be a period next to the abbreviation of doctor. It was removed in the 1950s, though. The font that they used at the time made it look really confusing, and it didn't look like a period. It made it look like it said DI semicolon pepper. Because of the way that the font was, there was a separation of the R.
D-I-C.
Yeah, it looked like it said DI semicolon.
Pepper.
Yeah. Which is quite fascinating.
What? Did you make the mistake of looking at the ingredient list?
Yep.
It's not worth it.
Remind me to go over it at the end.
1, crushed
Why?
babies.
That's not what it's about.
No, I'm looking at like the
2,
Oh.
asbestos.
What are you looking at?
total fat, 0 grams.
Hey, that's good.
0% of the drink.
That's good.
Sodium, 55 milligrams. 2% of the drink.
No, that's your daily recommended intake.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, daily recommended intake. Total carbs, 40 grams.
10.
Total sugars, 39 grams, which is including 39 grams of added sugar.
It's a soft drink.
78%.
Of your recommended daily intake. High fructose corn syrup, baby. Is nasty.
1 can is 78%. Anyway, yeah, so dye pepper.
Die semicolon pepper. World famous in St. Louis. Before long, other soda fountain operators around Waco and the Texas region began buying the amazing tonic from Morrison and Alderton to use in their own places. This very quickly became an issue as they couldn't keep up with the demand of the popular drink. Luckily, a beverage chemist named Robert Lazenby, great name, George Lazenby played 007 in the James Bond movies for a little while, came to the rescue. And in 1891, the Artisan Manufacturing and Bottling Company was opened by Morrison and Lazenby. This company later became known as the Dr. Pepper Company. It was around this time that the 1904 World's Fair was to occur. Right. The Louisiana Purchase Exposition, planned as the anniversary of the purchase of the state of Louisiana, was also known as the St. Louis World's Fair, as our listeners and ourselves know. Such a huge event that this is now the second time that it's been mentioned.
Yes.
On this podcast.
The cheeky verse soaks in
Cheeky-verse
another story.
The cheeky verse liveth.
The World's Fair famously had introduced to the rest of the world hot dogs.
Hot dog.
Excuse me?
Yep. Hamburgers.
Okay. One thing that annoys me about Americans
Oh, here
Yes.
we go.
is that they call hamburgers sandwiches.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Oh,
they do.
No,
They go,
don't.
let's go to
No,
Macca's
no.
and get a chicken sandwich, and it's a chicken hamburger.
Yeah.
Because a hamburger needs to be a beef hamburger patty. They call chicken burgers chicken
sandwich.
sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's called a chicken burger.
All right, well, John's going to cancel the US.
Anyway, the question being, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Okay, it's pretty
It's not two
pretty
pieces.
definitive.
It's not two pieces
I
of bread.
understand the argument. The argument's wrong.
Is it not a sub sandwich?
No.
And I
No.
talked while moving. Sorry.
No, it is not.
Okay, all right. There you go. The answer's
Anyway.
no. Cheeky Tail says no thank you to
Cheeky
sandwich
Tail's-
hot dogs.
No thank you to hot dog sandwich. So it introduced to the world hot dogs, hamburgers, the X-ray machine, the personal automobile in some form,
Beep, beep.
the aeroplane, and the electric trolley.
So this is the 1904.
World's Fair.
All right. I hate the 1930s. I love 1904.
Well, yeah.
1904. Great year.
It
Yeah.
slaps.
It slaps. Everything cool
slaps.
happened. Everything cool happened at this World's Fair.
Damn.
Dr.
Hot
Pepper
dogs and hamburgers, bro.
Hot dog.
And aeroplanes. What more do you
and,
want?
and electric trams.
Yeah.
Electric
Light rail transport.
Yeah.
This-
That's
more
our
interesting.
favorite topic.
I mean, it's
Ben!
it's no hot dog or hamburgers.
Follow Trains with Ben on Instagram right now.
Trains with Ben.
Anyway, Dr. Pepper was finally shown to the rest of the world outside of Waco, Texas at this World's Fair.
It's just so niche.
I know.
One of our mutual friends,
Has
he
it-
made a train spotting Instagram,
It's called Trains with Ben.
and I just haven't thought about it for a long time, and it's just so niche to us.
Is he trying to ride the coattails of old mate from
No,
He was
he's
doing
no,
it
he's
long before that.
long before
long
this
before
dude.
that poser.
Yeah, it's
He was in
copycat.
Queensland recently.
Yeah, I don't give a rat's ass about that dude. He's no Trains with Ben. Yeah. Anyway, 19 million people were at this World's Fair.
That's a lot of people in
And there was-
1904.
That's a lot.
That's like
Probably like-
half the population of the
Of
world.
the world.
I was
yeah.
going to say 30%, but okay.
And so many articles were written about this fantastic concoction soft drink that was entirely new.
It doesn't taste like crap.
It doesn't taste like anything.
You
It
gotta
tastes
think,
like its
at
own
this
thing.
time, this kind of thing just didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like you drank dirty water or beer.
Yep.
Or alcohol, as we
Yeah.
discovered. Yeah.
As yeah. Up next, Dr. Slogan.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, but there's titles of paragraphs in this one.
The Adam method.
I know. I love it. I put a lot of effort into them. They're even in bigger font, so I don't miss them. In the early years after the World's Fair, Dr. Pepper used the slogan, "The King of Beverages."
Oh, well, that's a big call.
I love
not,
that.
Not
I
the King
love,
of Beer. That's Budweiser. The King of Beverages.
I love when companies do this kind of
it's so
thing.
good.
Where
Yeah.
they're like, bold statement, we are the best.
Mm-hmm. A quaint mascot named Old Doc, a typical country doctor with a monocle and a top hat, became the
Yes.
main advertising trademark in the 1920s and the 1930s.
So the Monopoly man.
Yeah, kind of.
No. He's a quaint doctor man. Very different.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been
so instead of
rotund and bald.
instead of a money bag, he has a doctor's briefcase.
Yeah,
and
and
a stethoscope.
Pretty much. And a sphygmomanometer.
I want you.
A sphygmomanometer.
Oh, here we go.
It's blood pressure cuff.
He is moving that camera.
He
I've
is
just seen
moving
it
that
wobble.
camera. Apollo!
Make sure you get that in the edit.
Let's, for the memes.
Yeah, he don't care. Better check your angle quickly.
Oh, it didn't move it. It just
Stop licking your nuts.
wobbled it.
Okay. Around the 1930s, research was conducted and found that sugar
Is bad.
provided energy.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were like,
Give me a
sugar,
bag of it.
sugar is a carbohydrate and it provides energy. They found that certain times of the day, people had low moments, which a similar study was conducted with caffeine later on, and it was best to consume sugar at these times. They were 10:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., and 4:30 p.m.
it gets shorter towards the end of the day. Yep, makes sense.
So naturally, a contest was held to determine the new ad using this information.
Yeah.
The winning submission,
Suck down a Dr. Pepper.
well, the winning submission was pretty catchy. They kept it for a long time,
Slurp
and it
up.
was drink a bite to eat at 10, 2, and 4.
Okay.
Drink a bite to eat.
At 10,
10,
2,
2,
and 4.
Mhm.
Even now, if you go and
Yeah,
buy
very 19.
30s, 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
if you go and buy the glass Dr. Pepper, it actually still has that old logo, which is basically the words Dr. Pepper, and there's a circular shape with 10, 2, and 4 highlighted on the circle, as if it's a clock face.
There you go.
Yeah, very popular. British Dr. Pepper is a little different. They kept this moving forward until the 50s, where a new slogan was being used. The friendly pepper upper.
Pepper upper.
Yep. This
Okay.
continued into the 60s and was then used in conjunction with a bunch of other advertising, which is when they started doing, corporate things. Like they got Dick Clark, who was the spokesman on American Bandstand. He was the host to be the spokesman for Dr. Pepper. Things got,
Yeah.
television was more
Yeah.
prevalent.
Time for endorsements.
Time for endorsements. But the times were a-changin'. To broaden the appeal of the drink across the nation, rather than just in the South, Dr. Pepper began to market itself as the most misunderstood soft drink, similar to what's on the British cans. And in the 70s, began using the most original soft drink ever in the whole wide world.
Why is it misunderstood? I don't get the
Yeah.
misunderstood.
What's misunderstood?
What's misunderstood? What flavor is it?
Cola.
No, it's not a cola.
I guess it's
It's-
Both in
it's-
flavor and legally.
It's
But I'll get to that.
it's lolly medicine flavor.
But that's like saying it's blue.
Well, you know what blue flavor is though.
It's just Dr. Pepper. Like it's a flavor.
Yeah, I know, but
That's like going, what's an orange?
but
What's-
but an orange has a natural counterpart. It's
What's-
flavored after oranges.
What's
Yeah.
Coca-Cola flavor?
Is cola nut and cane sugar.
That's not
This is-
that. All right. Get on with it.
Mhm.
Get to the point.
If you were to say like a medicine lolly, you know what that flavor is. It's not a defined thing, but you know what
Yeah.
that flavor is.
Most of the ads around the 70s cashed in on this unique flavor thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what took them to court with the biggest player and dirtiest in the game.
Croak.
This
I'm-
anti-Coca-Cola agenda is BS.
I really wish I had my singlet.
Look, I'm leaning into it a lot. But I am pro Pepsi over Coke, but I'm leaning into it a bit. Because I'm different.
Pepsi, hands up. Coke.
Liars.
Dr. Pepper.
Come on, John.
Can't even do it for the bit.
I'm a Coke man.
I'm different. I'll sue. Try that again. I'm different, so I'll sue. So is Dr. Pepper a cola?
Oh, you've already said no.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a pepper drink.
Okay.
Huh?
It's a pepper drink.
What does that mean?
There ain't no
It's-
pepper in it.
It's arbitrary. It's their own creation. Dr. Pepper owns the title of pepper drink because they essentially took themselves to court via the FDA and got them classified as a pepper drink, not a cola. They're like, we are this. This is what it is. I've created this. This is a pepper drink, even though it doesn't have pepper in the flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, we're not cola. Why is that important? Distribution laws are pretty funny about like competitors and non-competitors. If they're not a cola, they're not in competition with Coke or Pepsi. So they took Coke to court. In 1951, Dr. Pepper sued the Coca-Cola company initially for $75,000 or $7.72 million in today's money by accusing that Coca-Cola sold its 6.5 ounce bottles deliberately under cost value to beat out competitors. Right?
Yeah.
So they sued Coca-Cola for saying that they were doing things cheap to beat competitors.
Mhm.
They got themselves classified as a pepper drink, so they're no longer a competitor. So, of course, now the stage was set for the next move. Now, Pepsi at the time was deliberately underselling, in the early years, was underselling to try and market themselves to poorer classified areas of the United States, but this is beyond that. Dr. Pepper then took Coke to court after they'd already won the course of them underselling and said, we're not a competitor. Why don't you bottle our soft drink? And they said, I suppose that's weird, isn't it? Because at the time Coca-Cola had these huge bottling plants and they had to bottle other soft drinks to make sure that the market was distributed across the United States evenly and they weren't creating a monopoly just because they had the bigger bottling plants. And Dr. Pepper won. So they forced Coke, that was originally their competitor, and then because now they're not legally their competitor, to bottle and produce their own drink, even though they don't have any claim to it.
So they beat them as a competitor.
Yep.
Got themselves changed so they weren't a competitor.
Yep.
And then beat them as non-competitors.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
Dr. Pepper has never lost in court.
Dr. Pepper's got some good legal team.
Yeah. So
That's so smart.
yeah, so in 1969, the president and CEO of Dr. Pepper, W.W. Foots Clements, that's his name,
Great name.
successfully successfully took Coca-Cola to
World
court.
War Foots.
Successfully took them to court so that they would bottle Dr.
Worldwide.
Pepper in their New York bottling facility, which was the biggest bottler and distributor of Coca-Cola in the whole world, was their New York facility.
Wow.
Now, this took Dr. Pepper out of Texas.
Yeah,
Like
right.
now it's like, oh shit, it's everywhere. Like it's East Coast, it's everywhere. It's fantastic. Coke wasn't real happy. They're like, this sucks. So what do you reckon they did?
Guessing they did some legal shenanigans.
They created their own pepper drink.
They created their own pepper drink.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now they're a direct competitor.
Yeah.
Don't have to bottle them anymore.
Well, they made an error.
Oh, okay.
They called it Peppo.
Peppo. I want to get me a can of Peppo.
Yeah, which is both not very good
John
and far
hates
too.
it.
It's far too similar a name. So what did
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper do? They sued him and they won.
Why wouldn't you just call it like
Call
Pepper
it
Coke?
Call it anything. Call it anything except
Yeah.
something that sounds like Dr. Pepper. Call it whatever you want. Yeah. So in 1972, they released Peppo, and Dr. Pepper went, nah,
Call it
we're not-
Kepper.
call it anything.
It sounds like a bad character from a cartoon.
Peppo, yeah.
It got worse
Oh, okay, cool.
because then
These are
Coke,
the stories I like. Come on, Liz. Come on.
because then Coke changed the name of it
Yeah.
to Mr.
Yeah.
Pibb,
Oh,
my
come on. Come on,
and they,
Coke.
and they sold it until 2001.
How
Oh.
is Coke still a company
Yeah. So Coke,
after those two blunders?
New Coke.
Oh, don't want to talk about new Coke.
Fanta.
Mm.
No,
We'll get into that.
Fanta another
We'll do
episode.
another episode. So Dr. Pepper had got themselves out there by forcing Coke to bottle them and distribute them. And then Coke were like, well, now we're going to make our own thing. But Dr. Pepper's already out there. They're big now. They're a big player. And then
Dr.
Coke
Pibb.
screwed themselves.
Dr.
And then Dr.
Pibb.
Pepper sued them and won. And then they made
Again.
Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb.
Oh, I thought you said Dr. Pibb.
no,
Hello,
Mr.
I'm-
Pibb.
Hello, I'm Mr. Pibb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mr. Pibb's not that as bad.
Oh, it's pretty bad still.
It's a bad
It's
name.
pretty
It's
bad
still
name.
pretty clearly Dr. Pepper, not.
Up
Nurse
next,
Pibb.
merger of the minor leagues.
Mm.
Mm.
Ooh, who did they buy?
In the 1980s, Dr. Pepper had some debt trouble.
Schweppes.
And it was very close to going under
Mm.
when an investment group took over and made the company private. The private and public stuff is a little bit legal mumbo jumbo. I'll summarize it towards the end when I can. A few years later, Coke decided to use the new management of this private company to their advantage and tried to buy Dr. Pepper. Problem was is that they already made Mr. Pibb, didn't they? So now they're trying to buy something that they're now officially a competitor with because they decided to make Mr. Pibb. So what do you think the American Consumer Council did?
Anti-consumer laws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they
you're
were
trying
like,
to
no,
create a
you can't
monopoly."
do that because it creates a monopoly. So Dr. Pepper won again. They tried to acquire it and the Federal Trade Commission blocked the purchase, citing issues with the monopolization.
Come on,
Coke,
Coke.
just let me do it for you.
This is a massive company. How
Yep.
can they keep making
They keep
mistakes
making
like
mistakes.
this?
Now, around this time, another small soft drink was having a bit of a tough time, and that
Probably
was
because-
7-Up.
Coke is not thinking they're so big. Dr. Pepper's still small. They're probably
Yeah.
not chucking their best assets at it.
Probably not.
So 7-Up's in trouble
7-Up's
as well.
in trouble at the same time.
Heads
Now,
up, 7-Up.
now 7-Up at the time. Now, I
And
haven't.
this is where Sean brings out the 7-Up.
No.
Oh.
But on that, I did notice at the shop today that they had 7-Up cherry.
Ooh.
7-Up is effectively, it's a clear lemonade like
Yeah.
Sprite. Who wants to buy a cherry? Like, there's already 15 cherry flavored everythings. Why would I want a cherry flavor of
Yeah.
something that has its own flavor?
Well, because 7-Up's a lemon lime, right?
It's a lemon lime, right?
Yeah.
So for argument's sakes, we'll call it a Sprite-like drink because it's like, Americans call it, sorry, we
Sean's
call it lemonade.
immediately in trouble with Coke.
Yeah, well, we call it lemonade, but Americans, if you call it lemonade, they're like, no, it's Sprite.
Yeah.
They like, it's not lemonade. It's
Well,
its own.
Sprite isn't lemonade, but
Yeah, I know, but Australians, if you
to
ask
us,
for a
it's
lemonade, that's what you
Yeah.
get. Yeah. We don't get Ocean Mist or whatever the hell they call it. Their brand of like uncarbonated lemonade. It's pub squash. That's lemonade.
Right. Thank you.
But less carbonation. Yeah, so 7-Up wasn't doing really, really good. And they were independent at the time, which is pretty interesting that they carried on that far, still being an independent soft drink at that
Yeah,
point.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the same investment company that bought Dr. Pepper also bought 7-Up. And they merged the two together to form really original name.
Doctor Up.
Dr. Pepper 7-Up, DPSU.
Oh.
I know.
DPSU.
Yeah. This gave...
Dr. 7.
This had some issues. Now, the legal side of it is not something I'm particularly up with, but basically, because they merged and went private and public and all this other sort of stuff, it meant that international branding rights were available, not necessarily ownership, but it meant that branding rights and distribution could now essentially be grabbed by other companies.
Coke, got it.
Coke and Pepsi got hold of the international branding rights. Coke obtained most of the US rights to Dr. Pepper's name, and Pepsi took the international rights. But it's all a little bit here or there. Like, they're still independent companies, but it's all the way they do it. Throughout the 90s, Dr. Pepper was regularly involved in antitrust cases and more issues with mergers. Coke once again being blocked from merging with Dr. Pepper in 1995, once again to not monopolize the market. So Coke's still trying to take Dr. Pepper for their own.
So Coke's a big fan of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, very much.
Or they're just trying to make a smart business.
Or Wish.com, Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper, Mr. Pibb. Yeah.
They're probably trying to get rid of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would be just
As-
a
yeah.
darn shame.
Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the Simpsons reference. What's the Japanese Homer? He's like
Mr. Sparkle.
Mr. Sparkle.
Mm. Variety is the spice of life. These days, Dr. Pepper can be found all over the world,
Mhm.
right? And there's a couple of different varieties because of different practices with consumer stuff and chemicals, right? Same thing, even Iron Brew in the UK has different recipes if it's the Irish one or the UK one. It's crazy, even though it's a UK independent soft drink. And Dr. Pepper has permeated itself to different places. I myself love Dr. Pepper because you could buy it from the grocery store near my house in Ipswich when I was a kid. I don't know why they had it or why it was so readily available, but when you'd go and buy your $1 mixed bag of lollies, they had Kirk's home brand soft drinks, LA Ice Cola, which if you put a squeeze of lime in, is pretty delicious. Trust me on that one. So they had Dr. Pepper for like 60 cents or something at the time. It was room temperature. So I thought Dr. Pepper was normal and it was an everywhere soft drink. And then I found out that it was a sometimes treat. And it was a lot harder to get. Sesame Street reference. Slotted that one in. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's found everywhere. Most notably, the English and American version, which we're drinking today, are different because of high fructose corn syrup and then real sugar.
Yeah. Speaking of that, so like we said before, the fructose corn syrup
Yep.
was 78% of your recommended daily intake.
Mm-hmm.
On the UK side, we've got 4.3 grams per 100 mil
Mhm.
of carbohydrates, which are sugars. 16% of your daily
Wow.
recommended intake.
That is so much less.
So much
so
less.
much less. So no wonder
And it
Americans
tasted
are fat.
very similar.
Real sugar in moderation is fine. Fake sugars in excess,
16% is still a lot, but not 70.
not 78%.
I didn't notice the American one being sweeter.
No,
It's a different kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
It's
it was punchier, but not sweeter.
Wild.
Canada, obviously Dr. Pepper's pretty popular up there as well.
They pour it on their poutine.
As with a bunch of other brands in the 2000s, however, like Doritos and just everything that stopped singing the national anthem of Canada.
Oh no,
is
we
it-
might get demonetized.
Is this copyrighted? Can you sing?
No.
Probably. With many other brands in the 2000s that just did like weird stuff, Dr. Pepper was not immune.
Weird stuff.
Weird varieties. These include Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper, caffeine-free Dr. Pepper, caffeine-free Diet Dr. Pepper, Red Fusion Dr. Pepper, Cherry Vanilla, Diet Cherry Vanilla, Berries and Cream, Diet Berries and Cream, Diet Cherry and Chocolate, Cherry, Diet Cherry, Heritage, which uses sugar instead of corn syrup, which is similar to the UK one, but is now just called Dr. Pepper with real sugar
That's
instead of Dr.
much
Pepper
less
Heritage.
Interesting.
Yeah,
name.
as it's now a permanent one. Dr. Pepper 10, low calorie. Vanilla Float, dark cherry.
Oh, come
sorry, wrong. Vanilla Float, dark berry. Cream soda, diet cream soda, 0 sugar. Cherry, 0 sugar. Cream soda, 0 sugar. Strawberries and cream, 0 sugar.
That is too many varieties.
Yes. That's a lot of varieties of 23
However,
unit. Yes.
out of all those flavors, berries and cream, I would like to try that one.
You would like to try the strawberries and cream one?
No, not strawberries and cream.
Oh,
Berries and cream.
I can't get you berries and cream.
Does
I
it
think.
not exist
I think. No. We do get some of them with Australian imports. I'll go back to the shop tomorrow. They definitely have.
Dr. Pepper, hit us up.
They definitely have the
Jezza.
strawberries and cream,
Jez is going to be able to get it. He's in America at the moment, I'm sure. He probably
and
can't
they
bring
have
it back.
another. They have another one as well. I will double check. They also have that 7-Up cherry.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe for the next episode, I'll bring the weird and wonderful Dr. Pepper.
We could do a
Varieties.
supplemental.
A supplemental. Yeah.
The float doesn't sound too bad either because I like spiders.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And that's just
Mm.
that's what they call a spider, right?
It's a lot of variety of Dr. Pepper.
Now, what happens if you got all of those flavors?
And mix them
And mix
all
them.
together?
Oh,
Is that
geez.
super Dr. Pepper?
That's just Thanos. That's just the infinity
super Dr.
gauntlet
Pepper, right?
of soft drink.
That's how you get diabetes.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I like super Dr. Pepper. You just get them all.
Oh, man.
Because that's what Almay did at the start.
Just mix all the flavors together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the story of Dr. Pepper and the history of it.
So much more interesting than I would have thought.
I know.
So good.
A plucky underdog.
Yeah, and continuing to be. I feel like I'm going to drink a bit more Dr. Pepper.
I don't think it was a plucky underdog. I think they knew exactly what they were doing to the big corporation.
You don't mess with Texas.
Boo.
What? What do you mean, boo?
I love that.
Unless you're an NFL team.
Now, for everybody listening, if they want to drink Dr. Pepper or go out and try it, it's not a plug by any means.
Sounds
but
like a plug.
it's kind of easy to buy. The British Dr. Pepper is available pretty much in one of your major supermarket providers, whichever one you prefer.
That is the one I recommend. Do not
Yes.
get the
Yeah.
78% of your daily
I
intake
would
one.
also prefer the British one. For those watching on screen, you can tell it's a darker red and the logo is vastly different. You can also buy it in 2-liter bottles, the British version.
It's a darker red.
It's
Bold
generally
in flavour.
it's generally a little bit cheaper as well.
Hints of oak?
It's generally a little bit cheaper.
Hints of medicine.
Corn syrup Dr. Pepper is pretty bad for you. Like
Yeah.
corn syrup is really
Yeah.
bad for you. And I honestly don't think it tastes as good as the British one.
It is wild that they have that much sugar in it and then put other stuff in to like back it down.
Yeah.
Just put less in. Anyway.
So I would, my choice is to drink the British one. It's easier to get. You can get it from the major supermarket chains in the international food section.
Mm-hmm.
The American ones, sometimes you can only buy them in the 12 packs and they're far too expensive, even at Costco. Aaron, what would be your pick? British? John?
British.
Yeah. Real sugar trumps high fructose
I don't
corn
like
syrup.
that American soft drink flavor.
Yeah.
They all have it. The high fructose, I assume.
Yes.
The high fructose corn syrup flavor, I don't like at all.
Even when I was in the States a couple of years ago, I was very excited. I'm like, cool, I can, like, if I want a soft drink, I'll just go get Dr. Pepper.
Pepper
I get it everywhere.
everywhere.
And I didn't enjoy it. I went and got a 500-ish ml bottle. They're in ounces, so I have no idea how big it was. It was around about that big. And I had one or two and I went, I just don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
And it's that corn syrup aspect because I had been used to buying the British Dr. Peppers of late and I can't tell you what ones I had as a child. I don't remember. This is 1998, 1999.
Just going by your gut and the fact that you don't have diabetes, I'm going to say you had the British one.
Probably. Yeah. So I would be picking that. You're right. The American soft drink is
not
unpleasant.
my favorite.
It's unpleasant.
Well, good stuff.
Dr. P.
Docky P.
Mr. Pip.
Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Peeb.
Pepsi over Coke.
Boo. You're wrong.
Gotta disagree.
Hit us up in the comments if you prefer Pepsi or Coke or even Dr. Pepper.
And don't make it personal. I feel like so many bloody comments are about me and I'm getting self-conscious. I'm a little shy guy. I've been called names. Got called a slaphead, which I know was endearing, but it was a bit confronting.
Yeah, Sean did not like that. He understood Reese, and I'm calling Reese out. He understood that it was a nice term, that it wasn't meant to be negative. But
as a hair care and a hair industry professional,
Sean
I'm
was
self-conscious about my baldness.
and he goes, I don't want people slapping me on my head. I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen.
It happens every day.
To be fair, when I read that, I wanted to slap him. I want to slap him now that we're talking about it. I just want to give him a little slap.
All my mate, Reese, I'm a barber. Like, all my barber mates smack me in the head when they give me a fresh cut and say, I like your cut, G.
You accidentally found a soft spot.
Have you got, like, single package cheese? Because I would just love to slap a slice of cheese on.
I tell you what.
To me, that would be very satisfying.
One time, if we can tee it up, I'll fresh shave my head and then instead of slapping me on the back of the head, you can chuck it and see if it'll stick.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. That's a supplemental.
Have to do that.
That's a supplemental.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. You can buy the Dr. Pepper for that day, though.
Okay. All right. Well, another banger.
Another banger.
Hit us up on the socials at Cheeky Tales Pod, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We will have some supplemental images. Maybe we'll have an image of John and I drinking out of our cans. Share us with a friend. It is the best way to grow a podcast and to make sure that we can keep doing this. It would be lovely to get more people joining in the conversation online as well. So chuck a comment if you would like. We will be back in another fortnight. It will be John's episode and then mine, as is the way. What?
You're forgetting we don't know when this is coming out.
We don't know when this is coming out.
Totally be your episode next.
We know this is coming out after the one we just did.
Oh, are we? I'm happy with that.
Okay. Well, I'm not recording in 2 weeks. I'm busy.
Anyway, we will see you in another fortnight. It will probably be April.
Dr. Pepper, please hit me up. Your boy loves your stuff.
Your boy would like a tattoo.
I tried to buy a Dr. Pepper hat for this, and it was impossible to buy one for a reasonable price in Australia. I was going to get Bree to make one for me.
He's a Dr. Beggar.
Dr. Beggar. And on that absolutely garbage joke, we're going to end it. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Chiquita.
Ta-ta.